Hi guys, welcome to day 9 of my 12 days of Christmas. Today I thought I would do a Q&A for you guys because I'm just getting a lot of questions at the moment and I haven't done a Q&A in a while, and I know that you guys enjoy this, so I put up a photo on my Instagram and let you guys leave some comments. I haven't really looked at them yet. I'm just going to go through and feel like whatever one kind of just I feel like answering at the time. I have looked at a few though because they're pretty funny. There is 730 comments, so I will do my best to get through them. What are your favorite Rebecca Louise workouts and how frequently do you do them? My favorites, I'll link down below my 4 favorite workouts that I do from Rebecca Louise, and I work out, I would say, 5 out of 7 days of the week, and it's either doing one of those workouts or going to the gym. So I'd say probably like every second day maybe. How did you start transitioning to a vegan lifestyle? Okay, I can kind of answer it here. So how I started transitioning to a vegan lifestyle was, well, first of all, I educated myself so I could understand why to go vegan. And then I slowly started cutting out, well, I cut out meat first. That was the big main thing, like meat and chicken. I cut out first, and then dairy was pretty easy, like milk and stuff was easy. Cheese was a little bit harder to cut out, so I mainly went for the meat, and fish was probably the last thing that I actually ate, or prawns actually, to be specific. I think it was all about just like understanding why I was doing it, and once I understood it, it was so much easier to do. And I also had the support of Tim as well, so he was helping me make different foods and giving me different ideas of like what I could eat. And also I think the fact that I was allowed to eat larger portions had me straight away. I was like, oh, I can eat this much food rather than eating this much food. So I was instantly just like so happy and satisfied and full. And don't be too hard on yourself. Like, people think if they're not perfect to begin with, then they can't do it, and that's not the case. You know, everyone can take their time and do it and slowly get there, because if you do it overnight, some people do it overnight because they're like really want to do it and they're committed, but like if you decide to do it overnight and then you mess up, it doesn't mean anything. You know, you just have to keep trying, because in today's society it can be hard to be vegan, and it can be hard to deal with all the friends and all the pressure of other people, and it can be hard because you've eaten a certain way all your life and you have these cravings that you naturally have because you've eaten those foods for such a long period of time. So don't be too hard on yourself. Just take it one day at a time, one meal at a time, and make sure you're eating enough food, because that can be hard for people to understand when they first come to veganism. They have to eat larger portions because the food is less calorie dense. So yeah, you need to make sure you're eating enough, enough of the good foods, the whole foods, not just the junk food. The junk food's great on occasion, but make sure you're eating enough good food as well. How do I stop craving bad foods? This is kind of related to that question, I guess. Not really. For me, how I stopped craving bad foods was pretty much just cutting them out as a habit thing. So you know, if something's habitual to you, you need to break that habit, and you need to go a certain amount of days without it, because then your body will stop expecting it, if that makes sense. And then also just replacing it with foods that are going to keep you full, satisfied, and not wanting to reach for like fatty junk food. So you need to make sure you're eating enough in that respect as well. Yeah, like just not, when you have something bad, you don't have to go full crazy and have everything bad. You know what I mean? You're allowed to have treats and stuff, and without completely ruining your whole entire week of eating, if that makes sense. And also knowing that when you are eating healthy, that healthy doesn't mean small, or healthy doesn't mean less, because I come across that a lot as well. When people struggle with binging or going to unhealthy foods, they find that they're doing that because when they are having healthy days, they feel deprived. So on your healthy days, don't let yourself feel deprived. Make sure you're always eating enough, and you're still allowing yourself to have the foods that you enjoy and the foods that you love, because there's plenty of delicious foods that are healthy for you. So if you think healthy means not tasty or not yum or not satisfying, then you're eating the wrong healthy foods, because whole foods can be delicious, and they don't have to be junk food to be tasty. You know what I mean? Do I like Emily's new boyfriend? Yes, I love Angelo. He was my friend actually long before they got together, and he is a really, really great guy. Would you ever consider cutting your hair short? Oh no, I have been there. I used to have short hair and it doesn't work because, well, my hair was dyed then as well, so it was all crazy. And that's one thing I've noticed massively about my hair, is when I used to dye it, it was just horrible. It wouldn't curl nicely like this. It would just go frizzy and crazy, and I'd have to straighten it every day. And yeah, ever since I stopped dyeing it, it's just been like, this is my natural hair, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I had this, and I didn't even know because I was dyeing it all the time. But no, I've cut my hair short before, and it's too kind of wavy. It's too thick and wavy. It doesn't deal well with shortness. The longer it gets, kind of the more relaxed it gets, and the less my curls are like crazy and unmanageable. So yeah, I would not cut my hair short, no. Think about pain relief such as Panadol. I don't use pain relief very often. I feel as though if it's completely necessary, then yes, use it, but I think there's always other steps to take. I think people use Panadol so freely, kind of just chuck it in there without actually taking other steps. Like if you have a headache, for example, it could be for many reasons, like you've been in the sun too long, or you haven't had enough water that day, or you're tired, or you're hungry, and then rather giving your body what it actually needs, like hydration or sleep, people tend to pop a Panadol, and I feel like that could be avoided. So yeah, I think obviously in extreme situations, I think that pain relief is definitely a great thing. But I think everyday situations, I wouldn't recommend taking Panadols and stuff like that. And I definitely don't take them. If I have a headache or something, I lay down, I put ice on my head, or I drink lots of water, or things like that. Or even if I have some sort of pain, I try to usually deal with it in natural kind of ways. But like I said, in extreme situations, I think that it's totally necessary. How do you keep yourself being jealous from other girls? I think this person means just in general life, but if you're talking about within my relationship, I don't ever get jealous of girls with Tim, just because I know I feel secure within our relationship, and I know there's nothing to worry about. And I also think that security in yourself plays an important role when it comes to being jealous of other girls as well, because jealousy is something that is really completely unnecessary. It doesn't do anything for you. It doesn't do anything for anyone. So once you realize those things, it's quite easy to take a step back and be like, okay, what is this actually achieving? Nothing. Like, why am I feeling this way? Is it because I feel a lack from within myself? And if that's the case, then how do I address that, and how do I work on that, rather than focusing on this other person and focusing on why I'm jealous of them? Because just because someone else has something doesn't mean it's being taken from you, if that makes sense. All right, sorry, I just changed locations because I started cooking dinner downstairs. I was gonna get loud. Anyway, so what I was saying was, jealousy. And just because they have something doesn't mean that I can't have it. We have this thing in all of humanity where if someone else has something, if someone else is happy, that means that we can't be, or that they're like hogging it all. And that's definitely not the case. No one's hogging anything. There's plenty of wealth to go around. Wealth as in health and happiness and love. Wealth within life to go around, and we don't need to be jealous of someone else we don't need to hate on someone else for having it just because we don't have it in our life, if that makes sense. So yeah, you just need to focus on working on yourself, feeling secure within yourself, and working towards what you want in life, rather than focusing on the lack of what you have in life, because that is what you're doing by being jealous of someone, is focusing on the lack.
Your video.
Aww, you can crash it.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Did they ask lots of good questions?
Yeah, there's some pretty good ones.
Did they ask who your wonderful friend is?
No. How to find your life purpose and start working towards it. I was actually thinking about this question the other day, and I read something that pretty much talked about life purpose is obviously, it's built up inside our head to be this huge thing that we're going to pursue for the rest of our life. But at the same time, you're always going to have different things going on, even if it's working towards this one main purpose that you have. And the main thing that I came across when I read was that curiosity is the key to finding purpose. Curiosity. And I was like, oh, that's so simple, but yet so effective, because it's just, you have to be curious in order to lead you to what you want to do in life, or what you want to do next in life. And some people are so shut off to different ideas because like, oh no, it's just, oh no, blah, blah, blah. But if you're curious about everything that enters your experience, your doors just open like this, you know what I mean? And you just find yourself experiencing so much more in life, and you find yourself becoming so much more passionate about all these different things that you didn't even know really existed because you didn't have the curiosity. I really loved that, and I just found it so inspiring. So yeah, I think that once you do find something that you want to work towards, whether or not it's your life purpose or just something that is intriguing you at that time and you feel passionate about, then you just have to start with something small. Don't overwhelm yourself by huge projects. Start with something that is then part of a bigger picture and work your way towards those small goals that will eventually turn into a bigger goal, if that makes sense. So don't be overwhelmed by the whole process of starting, because I always use the analogy, like after you've cooked a huge meal for like 10 people or something and the kitchen is just an absolute disaster, you don't look at it and be like, oh my god, how am I ever going to finish this? You just pick up one cup and you start, you know what I mean? You just pick up one thing and look at this, and where does this go? That goes there. Okay, next thing, pick up this, where does that go? Okay, that goes there. And instead of, you know, freaking out about the whole big task that you have, you just need to start on one thing that's right in front of you and you can do, and then work towards it. How do you get your legs so thin and toned? My legs have always been thin. They're genetically, that's my genetic makeup. I am tall and my legs are long, and that's just how it is. I used to hate it. Some people talk about it all the time and compliment me all the time, and that's one of those things that I'm talking about with accepting your body for how it is, because you never know, people feel differently all the time about different things. I used to hate that I had long legs and I was different to everyone else and all my friends. It's genetically how my legs are made. I'm not gonna lie, I don't have to like do lots of things to maintain them. I more work on areas like my stomach and my butt and things like that. But I do go to the gym, and I did cycle a lot, and just maintained it with general exercise, things like that. But if you want to target your leg areas, then I think doing exercises at the gym, the legs are one of the easiest muscles to tone, because they're big muscles and they're easy to work, if you know what I mean. They're not like hard to kind of isolate. What diet would you recommend? Whole starch, low fat, or high carb, low fat? I think that eating the whole starch, low fat diet is definitely a much better guideline than high carb, low fat, because high carb, low fat can be anything, you know what I mean? As long as it's low fat, it can be super high processed. I think a more of a whole foods plant-based diet is the best thing to follow, because it's naturally low in fat. You can still eat your good fats like avocados, nuts and seeds. The whole starch, low fat, which is actually, I think, developed by Mr. and Mrs. Vegan, which are my really good friends from LA. And I totally love the idea of saying whole starch rather than high carb, because it is implying, you know, whole foods and more of like a starch based diet rather than a fruit based diet. You and Tim ever fight? If so, how do you resolve them? Yes, me and Tim definitely fight. We bicker, but we do also have our big fights, and usually we get over them by just having our own space and reflecting upon our own thoughts, and then coming together and talking about it reasonably, and then figuring out where the other person was coming from, because it's usually a lack of communication and not understanding where each other was coming from, or frustration because we're hungry or tired or something like that. And also understanding each other's love language, which is a big thing that I would recommend for any couples out there. The book 5 Languages of Love is amazing. I would definitely recommend reading that. Will you be going to Chiang Mai this coming June? I don't think I'm going to head back to Chiang Mai or Thailand at all this year, because I would just rather, I've kind of been there and done that. I would rather experience different things in different countries if I'm going to go spend my money traveling. So yeah, I'm thinking Europe. I might go back to LA again for the LA Veg Fest, but I'm thinking more Europe next year. Do you eat things that may contain traces of eggs, milk? Yes, I do, because it's usually just an allergy warning, because it's been processed in the same factory as milk or eggs. I rarely buy things that are super processed, so it's not often that I see that label on my food. But yes, I will eat it if it does say that, as long as there is no animal products in the ingredients list. I think I'm gonna do my last question, and this is the one question that I did see because my friend Ali sent it to me, and I was laughing so much when she sent this. So I'm gonna finish it off with Ali's question. It is, would you rather a professional vlogging lesson from Casey and for him to return to YouTube daily, or free unlimited chai, corn, cereal, oatmeal, acai, muesli, and cocoa whip for the rest of your life? Oh my god, Ali, this is like the hardest question ever. I mean, obviously all those foods are like my favorite foods, but I don't mind buying my food. However, the experience to meet Casey and like hang out with him like one-on-one and just like pick his brain, I would not pass up. I think I would choose the Casey thing. Is that really sad? I don't know. Obviously you guys know that like he really inspires me, and I think just talking to him would be so like priceless almost, you know what I mean? What can I say? I like Casey Neistat. Alrighty, I will see you guys next time. I will see you tomorrow, of course. Oh my god, it's only 3 days till Christmas. Yay! Alright, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!